My friends, in the event that you are new to this wonderful card game and you have not yet signed up for a UGN Play account, you can now sign up with my exclusive referral code Alliteration and get yourself 50 bonus loyalty points for free, as well as additional loyalty points for every event that you play in within my referral code period. Why do you need these, you might ask? Well, loyalty points can be used to redeem free promotional cards in the mail, as well as other exclusive items coming in the future. The bonus points from using my code are enough to redeem almost any promo card right off the bat, and having your UGN account is going to allow you to accrue and track more and more as you go through your hero or villain's journey. If free cards and progression all sound super appealing to you, the links for all of this are going to be in the description below. Now, let's get on to the video. Good morning, my dear viewers, and welcome to another Wealthy Aspirations video. If you're new here, this is our weekly series where we go over TCG players' entire secondary market set by set, rarity by rarity, and we just take a nice in-depth look at all of the prices for singles in our game, where they've been and where they might be going. Let's get right into it. Our set 3 secret rares are looking just as they always are, super duper El Cheapo. Going into our URs for set 3, it's about the same as well. Needle, Azure holding about 10 bucks, Stun Grenade holding $5-6, and everything else is just a few bucks after that. Not really going to see any big moves here, I think, for a very long time. These are all pretty much set in their ways. Going into the XRs, this is where things get really interesting. Last week we saw like a massive wave of buyouts across the majority of the really good XRs from the starter decks, the Endeavor and the Eraser starter decks, and I'm excited and interested to see how those proceed into this week. Noteworthy though, Piercing Needle is looking really cheap this week as well. 20 bucks, it's been 35 for a very long time. I wonder if that's just like a one-time thing. Yeah, just a random one for 21 bucks over the others for 30 and up. This is actually a pretty good buy in my opinion. This is a pretty nice little deal there. And then going into the rest of our XRs, some of our characters still looking very nice. Prominence Burn, only one left at 20. Yeah, this is probably gonna, at the very worst, stay at 20. I don't know if it's gonna go much up from here. This one gets bought out. But at the very least, I mean, Pro to Dry Eyes and Prominence Burn are basically like the UR XRs of the starter decks, and they've been holding strong for a long time. We're seeing some rebuyouts of Ignited Arrow and Quick to Act. These have gone through a couple buyouts before, and they usually just come back stronger than ever, and now they're coming back super strong. Ignited Arrow is looking so expensive. Quick to Act looking so expensive. Going on from there, Total Erasure also, again, one of the like UR type cards from the starter decks, so very expensive. Freezer Burn, we've been talking about this one for a very long time. This card is absolutely nuts. This card is freaking crazy, and its XR was not going to stay at this market price for a long time. I hope that you got in on these while they were good. Stun Grenade and Infiltration XR URs are so crazy cheap, man. That's nuts. One with Nature looking very bought out as well. This one was also like the $9 to $12 price point for a really long time, and now they're going 20 bucks. I mean, One with Nature is one of the most, I say it every week, one of the most pivotal cards of the format, so obviously the XR of it is gonna be crazy. Arctic Conflagration, another starter deck XR that got pretty much completely bought out. Not sure that's gonna come back at any kind of real price. Whiplash is suffering the same exact thing. Wouldn't be surprised to see it on Precision too after some time. These, not so much. These are some pretty mediocre cards, but I mean, even some of the mediocre starter XRs are getting bought out. Ice Slide Tackle also going into some crazy regions here. This market price is no more. This is another one to get in on while it was good. Then, as we said, even some of the really niche ones, Hellflame Stomp and Soul Piercing Glare XRs, bought out. Now they're just crazy daisy prices, man. It's kind of wild. Easily Excited, only 5 listings left. Let's take a look at numerically speaking how many we've got here as well. 1 1 1 1 1 1. I think that was too many ones. Anyway, $6 for this card is way too cheap. You should get these while you can. Staple zero diffs in XR are like one of the most, like, you know, bread and butter, like just buy this, it's not that complicated. You should just buy it. There's not many left. We saw the same with Basic Training. That one finally got bought out as well, and if there's any back, I would recommend picking those up too. Exhausteds and Dauntings I would probably pick up as well if this trend of starter deck XR buyouts continues, because I mean, these are pretty cheap right now. They don't have a lot left over. Same goes for Frozen Slash. This card's freaking nuts, man. Card is nuts since he's playing a lot of decks. Pick these up while they're super cheap. Press Conference looking like it caught the buyout syndrome as well, and just being absolutely crazy expensive now. Basic Trainings, yeah, if you got these while they were like in that $4 to $8 range ever since the set came out, good on you. If you didn't, man, again, staple zero diffs. Staple zero diffs are some of the most, like, yeah, you should just buy this XRs ever. Even Fastest Flame is catching this this starter deck buyout fever. Man, these are crazy. Holy cow, holy cow. I guess the moral of the story is buy starter deck XRs, because holy cow, yeah. Kobe with #1, Scorching Aura, just gone. I mean, I guess these are just starting to dry up, right? I mean, it's well known that starter deck XRs are harder to pull than normal XRs, but still, man, seeing all of them go like in a wave like this. I mean, we see this sometimes though, right? Like something gets bought out and then like panic kind of spreads, and then people just suddenly start buying out all of them, just because they're scared of it happening to the next one. I mean, look at Hellflame Pounce is $14, Stare Down is $23. Man, USJ out of stock is also pretty interesting. That is quite interesting as well there. A lot of really weird buyouts in this XR department, man. I don't know if we'll see any of like the more niche ones. This is really interesting. Last week bench press and successful results got bought out. Now they're coming back at $7. This is probably the same store. I don't think this price will hold on these, especially not on this. This card sees like very little play. This card sees like a tiny bit of play, but I don't think it'll actually remain at any like real price. Hey, Thrilled Spectators are really low. It's an Endeavor starter deck XR, man. It could get expensive, so really wild stuff going on with these XRs, man. The starter deck XRs and then some really choice buyouts. I think Frozen Slash and Easily Excited are the ones to keep an eye on right now. Those are the ones that are still way cheaper than they should be, and I think it could get bought out at any second. Going into the promos, I have confirmed the person who bought these when they were like the $80, the $75 listings actually reached out to me and confirmed they did actually buy them for those prices, which is kind of crazy to me. So I think these these prices might just be here to stay, man. I don't know. They're definitely a little more legitimate than I would have given them credit for last week. So we'll have to see how those transpire. And then Latent Skills and Irrefutables are very respectable prices, and Improvement is super cheap. Season the Advantages are still expensive, of course. This card dodged the ban list, so it's still gonna be super expensive. Chivalrous Competitor and Petty Squabble, still really big pieces of some of the meta decks. I wouldn't be surprised to see these holding their prices for a long time. Although I think these are like decent prices. $12 for Chivalrous is like fine. I think anything over 15 is where you're like, yeah, nah, come on, man. You can wait for something better than that. You could wait for something better than that. And then everything else is just fairly cheap. Your Victory is gonna be a little more expensive, but otherwise nothing too out of the ordinary aside from these freaking behemoths of the Bio Box promos. Going into set 2, secret rares are cheap as ever. Once again, nothing to see here. Going into the URs for set 2, Excited for Blood, just continuing to creep lower and lower, and then these two are what they always are, and then everything else is $1 or $2. Very much typical stuff going on in these URs. XR wise, again, like we saw last week, as the UR gives, the XR takes, which is kind of really funny to see these like creeping up. A couple of our character XRs still fetching some decent prices. These are still super cheap prices for these, but I guess there's just so many of them at this point that it doesn't really matter. A lot of little like nice like $5-10 characters here and there. Force and Surrender, again, still keep an eye on this one. There's still quite a lot left, but these will dry up eventually. Save for high values, man. These were like $30 for the longest time. Now they're finally a respectable price, but not a lot of listings. You gotta keep an eye on them. And then after that, I don't think there's anything too wild going on here. Again, we say it every week, Surviving the Finals, Ice Glidings, Strugglings, Gracefuls, again, these assorted staple XRs. Struggling is one that I've kept an eye on for a very long time. This is like the last one left at $10. They were selling it like $4 to $5 for a very long time. And it's crazy because it seems that even though this is the last one, no one wants to still pay even this much for it. But I wouldn't expect these to be very cheap once they do come back, if they do come back. This is definitely another one of those that you had to get in on while the getting's good. And I mean, look at Surviving, look at Ice Gliding. These could easily be the next Struggling in no time. Same for things like Graceful Maneuver. Aside from that, a lot of the really good XRs in this set like don't look super different, which is kind of like the main reason they probably don't get very expensive. But again, like I mean, eventually the well will dry up, right? League Interview, that's a pretty played card, not gonna be $2 forever. Same with Nice Slice. New Training Method getting expensive again is pretty interesting. I don't think that there's any validity to this price really, because like the Nationals promo is just there. Like if you're gonna pay an actual price for New Training Method, pay for the one that actually looks different. But I mean, hey, who knows? maybe they know something I don't, right? I'm not a new training method gamer. And then, man, everything else is just so cheap. No real prices to any of these other XRs whatsoever. Again, like there's the handful of staples in here, and the rest of this set is really just super underwhelming. Moving on to the promos for set 2, it looks like Exciteds are getting drier and drier here. Only 5 listings, not a lot of listings. Same for these Giros, man. These are crazy expensive compared to the Midoriya's, which I mean, obviously one is a played character and the other is not. Only 3 listings on the Starlets is also very noteworthy. 4 listings on the Manlies, 4 listings on the IERs, 4 listings on the Cheerleaders. Only 8 on the Texas Smashes. These RLE promos, again, we're never gonna have more of these, so they're getting more, not necessarily getting more and more expensive, but they're getting more and more scarce, which may eventually lead to them getting more and more expensive. Same goes for the Ruins. The Todorokis are holding decent prices too. Student of the Arts are really coming down. All these other Gen Con promos, super duper cheap, man. I remember when people thought that these were gonna be like $50 forever. That was a very funny time. Our provisional promos, yeah, look at this. The Nats new training is $4, man. Like, holy cow. There is no validity to the XR price. Flamethrowers are really cheap. Waylays are still quite cheap, all things considered. Explosions are cheap. The provisional promo run from the store championships really did a number on bringing these down to size, which is very nice. All of our Nats promos are super cheap as well, and then from here on out, Plus Ultra Series 2 is a very cheap pack. Moving on to set 1, our secret rares are looking as they always do. Our secret rares do not like to move. Our secret rares are very set in their ways. Of course, these are set in much higher ways than the other sets because these are very good and played cards. Set 1's URs are looking about the same as ever as well. Heatwave is, you know, doing its thing, being $30 for no godforsaken reason. And then other than that, our Ice Storms, our Naval Lasers, Texas Smash, Evil Gaze, these 4 have kind of been floating around 6 to 7 for a while, and then everything else is kind of just pretty cheap. Nothing very out of the ordinary here on any of our UR pages, quite frankly. And then our XRs for set 1, kind of looking the same so far. Jabs are $50, Ice Storms are $30, Shadows are $30, XR Heat Waves are $50. These being 14 is pretty nice. I know these have kind of been moving down for quite a while now since they got like hella bought out. And I think maybe people thought that, I don't know, maybe people thought this was going to go down a lot more because of the buy a box promo, but those like just don't exist. So maybe the XR will still find some weight. It's not the best looking XR, but I mean, it does go from non-hollow to hollow. So I think there's always weight to be attributed to it from there on out. Requesting assistance also finding some like actual price point. Again, it's not the best looking one, but it does go from non-hollow to hollow. So once again, got to attribute a little bit of value there. Passing the torches or having some actual prices now. Same with latent skills. Very nice to see our staple symbol spread of draw power actually not being non-existent anymore. Regions have come down very hardcore. Self-sacrifices have a real price now. Even it can't be fixed with a real price. I think $15 is like the optimal price for this. Anything more just feels a little strange. Chop being so cheap too is really nice. These are really good prices for something like Chop. And then from there on out, future charges I guess are a little expensive. I mean, 14 is like an okay price. This is a really good looking XR to be fair, but there's not too many left either, which is also quite noteworthy. Tapes for $2. Holy cow! Is that just a one-off thing? Because man, that's a heck of a steal right there. Yeah, dude, tapes for $2. Holy cow! I'm adding that to my cart. Y'all are crazy, man. Anyway, coming back to the rest of this, Night Watches are really cheap. Walklings, Manlies. I mean, these do have RLEs, but those are only going to get scarcer and scarcer. So I think eventually the prices will come back to these XRs. But man, so much cheapness. Jolts are $5, quick trades are $5, extends are $5. Man, so much cheapness in the beautiful land of set 1 XRs. So much raw value here. I don't know if these will really like spike anytime soon, but I mean, they're such beautiful looking cards. It's like if you've just been looking to like complete a collection, man, or just like finish like maxing out your deck, you just needed those. I mean, $5 Apathetics. I just think Apathetic's such a good card. I feel like I say that every week. I'm such a broken record when it comes to some of these sometimes, but when something is cheaper than it should be for a very long time, you got to keep mentioning it, and eventually it will catch up, right? As we're seeing with a lot of the set 3 XRs. I think $2 self-assureds and $2 releases is crazy. Again, the buy box promo exists, but does it really? Does it really exist? $2 sticky balls is also pretty crazy. Same for these shock absorptions. Man, it's really easy to max out a lot of these set 1 decks. Some of these are so freaking cheap nowadays, man. But yeah, it doesn't seem like anything else wild is happening here, but man, a lot of really good deals in the set 1 XR department, especially with set 4 coming out. I kind of talked about it quite a bit last week, but set 4 coming out means the evil symbol is something you got to keep an eye on. So a lot of these like old school evil staples like creepies and cool students and stuff like that are just things to really keep an eye on. And then our set 1 promos, special sounds are still like $100. These are 50s and 60s. These are 40s and 30s, and man, dude, those season 1 RLEs really hit different when it came to the promo selection. Really hit different. Crow and Frogs don't exist anymore. You love to see it. This card can burn. I'm so glad it's gone. Plus Ultras are also very decent prices now too, which is nice. Never been a better time to pick those up and feel a little bit safer as you jam those in your set 1 sideboards. And then our Plus Ultra pack itself, though, aside from that, is pretty much non-existent. Oh, someone actually put up a Gen Con 2019 All Might. That's very cool. That's actually really cool. And there you have it, my dear viewers. A very quiet week, I guess you could say. There are a lot of crazy buyouts going on, but they're really all spillovers from left week that just haven't really corrected themselves in the slightest yet, or actually either corrected themselves or solidified themselves. Neither of those things have happened yet, so things look crazy, but really this is all just kind of resting on the laurels of last week. So we'll have to see if those laurels continue to rest and whether or not we'll see some massive changes anytime soon. But a lot of those ones that we did go over, I think you should really look into picking up before they get super crazy, like a lot of these buyouts are going on right now. That's gonna be it for this video though, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and if you really liked what you see, hit the subscribe button and you're gonna get Wealthy Aspirations every single Wednesday on your newsfeed every single week, alongside all of the other MHA CCG content that I put out every single week, 6 uploads a week, including the Wealthy Aspirations, and ranging from gameplay, deck profiles, meta discussions, tier lists, and all that crazy beautiful stuff. So if you want some of the most premier MHA CCG content on the interwebs, I would really appreciate your support. That's all the time I've got for this video though, guys. Thanks so much again for watching. Hope I'll see you around in the next one.